Yeah, just blame it on the rain if you're late for work this morning. Tell your boss I said so. Good morning, Caryn in here filling in for Tammy Sutherland. Well, get ready for a wet and rainy day in southern Ontario. Remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl have started rolling through the province. Let's bring in Frank because Frank, I'm sure a lot of people are curious, just how much earlier should they be leaving for work this morning?
Well, we just had, Steph's going to come up and tell you about a rollover we have on one of the highways as well. So, yeah, you want to put extra time in. You want to leave a good buffer space between vehicles today as well. What we see behind me here is what happened in Houston. So this is the effects of Beryl in Houston, where we did see several power outages. And as well, Caryn, what we saw was even the loss of life. But the wind is not the big impact now. What the big impact, of course, Caryn, is the rainfall. Your favorite rain song is?
Well, it's got to be Blame It on the Rain.
Okay, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Where I saw you walking with him in the rain. And today there's going to be a lot of rain songs playing because this is a huge system. You can take a look. But my greatest concern, more so, is what we're seeing right now is some of the embedded thunderstorm activity that's pushing its way through. Of course, thunderstorms can create very, very strong downpours of rainfall in a very short period of time, creating some flooding out there. And then there's the threat of lightning, of course, as well as some down bursts that we could see of wind. So we could get some power outages associated with this as well. If you're wondering how long it lasts through the morning, that's when you're going to see the bulk of the rainfall. Into the afternoon, some scattered showers, and then we'll see some through the overnight again. This finally wraps up mid-morning tomorrow. And as we were mentioning, when it's all said and done, upwards to 60 millimeters of accumulation that we could see in total. So right now, future forecast shows us by about 3 o'clock this afternoon, we'll already see rainfall accumulations near 50 millimeters here in Toronto. And that means like the DVP, all those local areas that flood, ponding and pooling out there on the roadways. And as well, got to mention, we've had some really high water levels across cottage country. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I know that Lake Rosso was very concerned with the amount of water and the high water levels that are there.
So probably a safe bet, Frank, to cancel your plans today, but maybe not tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be pretty good. And then Friday looks fantastic, Saturday as well. Today is an indoor day, and I know many that watch us this morning are in the construction industry, maybe that they do concrete, perhaps roofing. Today, give the crew a day off and just do your invoices.
I'm curious how the heat impacts all of this, because we are looking forward to actually a really good weekend despite all this rain today.
Yeah, so through the weekend, though, we get back into heat and humidity, and then that means more unsettled conditions starting Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we could still see the threat of some thunderstorms as well during those periods of time. It has been a wet start to summer, even though it's been a hot one overall. So we continue to see some soggy conditions that are out there, and we'll see the impacts. Waterways today, if you're thinking about going for that walk where maybe you're down over by the Humber River, stay away from the edge or the bank of any of those waterways because they become soft, and we're already saturated. The ground's pretty saturated already, so I expect some flooding today.
Okay, Frank, you mentioned it's been a very wet start to the summer, and Hurricane Beryl, we're only on B, so are we looking forward to a wet summer, like, altogether?
So this looks like it's going to be a very active summer. We had 13 months of consecutive record highs, and now with the water temperatures, this is all about water in the Atlantic and as well as in the Pacific being exceptionally warm that creates that fuel, that energy for hurricane season. Beryl, of course, one of the earliest, the record actually, as a matter of fact, as a Cat 5 to ever hit early on in the season. It's going to be an active one, and we're going to keep our eye out. The nice thing about where we live is by the time it gets to us, it's just rain.
Okay, thanks so much, Frank. We will have more, too, with Stephanie Henry very shortly on how this is all impacting the morning commute. But I guess the takeaway here, drive slow, maybe leave your house a bit early, because there could be flooding.
Yeah, we're washing all the streets of Toronto.
Yeah, 6:26 here on Breakfast Television. Sid Sixero, he is coming up just after the break. More BT after this.